card with the Greatest Journey stamp set bundle. And of course, YouTube has decided to kind of throw a little wrench in the plans here. And for whatever reason, they've changed the format of the screen. So I'm trying to get it set so that hopefully you can see some of the video. I have no idea why it's, I'm going to try to flip the camera here and see if it'll turn. Oh, nope, never mind. Oh boy, okay. Well, this is going to be interesting. Okay, so, well, there we have it. I think, hopefully I'm back live again. So we're just going to go with it as it is. And I apologize. I don't know for sure what, why the orientation changed on it. But YouTube did an update, and so I'll see if I can figure out how to fix it for next time around. But yeah, definitely it's going to be an interesting video. It's smooshed down the screen quite a little bit here. So hey, Pam, thanks for hopping in today. Anyway, again, I'll apologize profusely for this crazy looking video, and I'll see if there's a way to fix it for next time. But yeah, I had no idea that it was going to go live in this odd format, but here we are. So, all right. So this is the card we're going to be making today, and it is made with the Greatest Journey stamp set bundle, which is one of the bundles from the current January to April 2023 mini catalog. And it's a pretty simple card, so probably a good thing today, since the video is all sorts of crazy, that it's not going to be a real complex card, and hopefully you can see well enough what I'm doing. Yeah, anyway, so it's all good. So pretty simple card today. This is the stamp set. It is called Greatest Journey, as I said, and it's got some good sentiments in it, and some fun images for anybody who likes the outdoors. So yeah, definitely a good little stamp set. And then there's a coordinating die set that goes with it as well, and it's a huge die set. And again, it's called the Greatest Journey dies, so they coordinate together. The open image here, this one cuts out the large floral image. This one will cut out the trees. I think that's about all the stamped. I don't think there's any other images that are stamped that it will cut out. But there are all sorts of fun images in here. So there's the bicyclist, the hiker, the runner, the clouds, the little hiking pole. This one is like a mountain, edge of a mountain, and I'll show you how that works. And then we've got a couple of die cuts for a tent, so it's a pretty cool set. So anyhow, so that, again, that's the Greatest Journey dies. I'm going to go ahead and set this aside here. And hey, Gwen, thanks for hopping in, and Pamela's here as well, and Barbara, thanks for joining. And then I've got a set of dies that are the stitched rectangle dies, which are dies that I use tons and tons. And I did use it to cut this background panel here. I'm trying to remember. Yep, I used the second largest one here to cut out the background die cut, and also used it on the sentiment. So. All right, let me set the few things aside here, so hopefully I can reach, and we will get moving on the card in just a second. Stampin' Up! Does have some new celebration items available to pick from, and the paper, the Designer Series paper that I'm using today, is actually one of the items that you can get for free with an order of $50 or greater during celebration, which runs through the end of February. So I'm happy about that. It's one of the free products you can get, and but celebration is coming to an end here very soon, so make sure you're getting your orders placed. And right now is a good time to stock up on the outgoing in colors, which are the 2021 to 2023 in colors. Those will likely be retiring. I mean, I guess I can't ever guarantee, but they'll likely be retiring at the end of the catalog. So now's a good time to stock up and get some free things from Stampin' Up. So hey, Michelle, thanks for hopping in. And again, I apologize about the crazy sideways screen today, the little tiny one. YouTube did an update, and for whatever reason, I cannot get it to switch. So we're going with it as it is. All right, so hey, Drew, thanks for joining. Stampin' Up! Does have an awesome joining promotion that runs through the end of February, so if you have not heard about it, make sure that you take a peek at my blog, which is stampwithamyk.com. There are 3 different joining options right now. So the first 2, it's $129, and you would pay tax on that if that applies in your area, but it ships for free, and then you get your choice of either the blue or the white mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Or there's a third option where you pay $99 and you still get to pick $175 worth of your choice of merchandise from Stampin' Up! And again, it ships for free. And if I didn't say it, option 1 and option 2, you get the die cutting machine and $175 worth of your choice of Stampin' Up! Merchandise. So it's a really great deal if you're not a demonstrator right now. You should join. We'd love to have you come join our team. So let me know if you have any questions on that. I'm happy to chat with you a little bit about it if you have questions. All right, so let's get going. So this actually, hey Lori, thanks for joining today. This actually is from one piece of the Enjoy the Journey Designer Series paper. One half of it's got more of the greens and mango or melon mambo, I'm sorry. And then the other side has more melon mambo with oranges in it. So I grabbed, I used the original one with Coastal Cabana, but we're going to change it a little bit, and I'm changing some of the colors, but it's the same design, same basic idea for the card that we're making today. So this is, again, I cut this with the second largest of the stitched rectangle dies, just cut a piece of the Designer Series paper out, and it already is pre-printed with the little sun or moon, whatever you want to call it on here, and the mountains and all the pretty colors on it. So it's super easy. All you do is cut a piece of it and done. So, and I've got a piece of Mango Melody cardstock, and I believe this is about 4 7/8 by about 3.5. So we've got that cut ahead of time, and we're just going to adhere the two pieces together with Stampin' Seal. So hopefully y'all are enjoying your Friday, and hopefully y'all are going to have a great weekend. Not too much exciting going on around here, which is usually a good thing on the weekends. A little time to relax, and it's a long holiday weekend here, so the kids don't have school on Monday, which is always kind of nice too. Then I did die cut ahead of time some of the little clouds. Again, these are from the Greatest Journey stamp or dies. This is not the stamp setting me. So these are the Greatest Journey dies, and there are 3 cloud dies in here, and I used all 3 of the dies and cut a panel of basic white cardstock, and they're banging into stuff. And I'm just going to adhere those to this panel that I've got layered here with a little bit of liquid glue, and I'm going to try to be careful not to go too far over to the edge with it because I am actually going to be having a little bit of it hanging off. I think we'll probably do it about like that. And then I'm going to take the smaller cloud and do the same thing. We're going to have a little bit of it hanging off. Hey, Carol, thanks for joining today. And sorry again about the crazy looking screen here. I'm not sure what YouTube did, but I'm going to try to figure out how to undo this so that I can have a wider screen view for next time we do the video. Always something changing, and they never tell us anything until you turn on the live and you're like, oh, this is all new. So there you go. All right, taking the third little cloud, and we're going to stick that over here, kind of over the top of either the sun or the moon. I guess you can decide whether it's a sunrise or a sunset or what it is that you're looking at exactly. So then I'm going to grab some paper snips, and we're just going to trim this off, trim off the little cloud die cuts so that they're even with the edge of the cardstock panel. All right, get those out of the way. And almost try to put the scissors into the glue. Yeah. All right, so it is a short screen, Carol, but I can't figure out, there was no way. Normally, this is kind of the mode that it goes live in normally, but normally if you turn your camera before you go live, then it will actually flip the screen, but it never gave me that option to do that. So we're just going with the short screen today, and like I said, hopefully I can figure out how to fix it for next time, because it's a little crazy, and I'm trying to keep what I'm doing very much in the center, but I know I keep doing things off to the side because I'm used to having a little extra space to work on. So, no, it's not your problem. It's something, I don't know for sure what happened. Like I said, hopefully I can get it figured out and fixed for next time. I know I did get a YouTube update, and so I'm assuming that it was something in the update that changed a setting somewhere, and probably if I went hunting deep enough, I could find it, but the problem is that I didn't know till I went to go live, then I'm like, oh, this doesn't work quite right. So, and then see, I get busy talking and I totally messed up. I didn't want to put dimensionals on the back of this. It needs to be stuck down flat to the card front. Sheesh. All right. Ooh, good thing that's the back because I totally just ripped it, but all good. All right. Got that all peeled back off. Let's try this a second time, and we will use some Stampin' Seal on it. Because of the die cuts that I'm going to be layering here on the front, I need to have this flat on the card front, not stuck up because it wouldn't work very well with the basic black die cuts we're getting ready to add on. So I'm sticking this on a pumpkin pie card base. And again, don't forget this Designer Series paper is one that you can get for free with an order of $50 or greater during celebration. And I've got a little piece of basic black cardstock, and this one's, I don't know, it's about 2-ish inches or so. And I'm actually just gonna cut it. Oop, I'm gonna flip it this way because there's a strange little dent over here that I wanna make sure I cut off. So I'm gonna grab the die, the one that's the mountain die from the Greatest Journey dies. And I'm just gonna take this, and again, it should be squared in the corner. So I'm just gonna take it and place my die on here so that it's, I don't know, I mean, probably 1.25 inches or so, maybe just 1 inch over here on the side. And then it's cut off over here on the edge. This originally started out as a 4-inch wide by about 2-inch tall piece of basic black cardstock. And we're just gonna trim off the edge of it basically and make a little mountain or cliff or whatever for a little hiker person to stand on. So I'm gonna run this through the die cutting machine, so I'll be back in 1 second. Hopefully. I'll be back in a second. All right, there we go. Let me put the die back before I lose track of that. And again, it was just basic black cardstock, and we're going to take a little bit of liquid glue and we're just going to stick it to the card front, kind of right here in the corner. And again, liquid glue and I are really not friends, so I try not to put too much on because I end up with it stuck to everything and me, and yeah, not anywhere where I want it to be. So, all right, let me slide this over just a hair to make sure that it's lined up. Whoop, there. But that's the one bonus of the liquid glue is that I don't know if you saw what I did there, it just slid, but it gives you an extra second to fix it speedy quick like I just did there before everything is stuck down for good. All right. The next thing that I did is I went ahead and cut these ahead of time because they're little teeny tiny ones. Hey, Dory, thanks for hopping in from Germany as well. This is actually what the hiker die cuts like. She's got, or he, I guess I don't know if it's a man or a woman, whatever it is, the hiker has got a little lantern in their hand. And we're going to actually chop off the lantern. And then I had die cut the little hiking pole or the hiking walking stick or whatever you want to call it. And before I actually die cut these, I had put some adhesive sheets on the back of them, so they are turned into little stickers, which makes it a lot easier. This piece probably wouldn't be so hard to adhere with some liquid glue. This piece, however, would be challenging to adhere because it's super thin and little, and yeah, use your adhesive sheets on it, trust me. So, all right, so let me get the, oh, I better cut off the little lantern before I get busy peeling the backing off of it though. So I'm just gonna cut it off. Hopefully, I'm gonna hold it up kind of close because I know the video is a little small today. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm just trimming off here. And now it's just his or her little hand there that's left. And we will put the little hiking pole into it instead of having the little lantern hanging on it. If you liked the lantern, you can certainly leave the lantern on there and not put the hiking pole in it, but I thought the little hiking pole was kind of cute in there. So, all right, and then we're just gonna make this person kind of standing here right on the edge, overlapping it. So that is the extent of my fussy cutting, Karen. You know me too well. So, all right, and then I'm gonna grab my little take your pick tool, and I've got the pokey tool on here. Hey, Jeannie, thanks for hopping in. And I'm gonna, again, I had put the adhesive sheets on the back of here before I started. So I'm gonna use this to get started on the little sticker backing. And, whoop, flip, not that way, flip this way, there we go. And same thing here, I'm just gonna take the little pokey tool and fling the little sticker piece off of it so that I can actually stick it. So, oh, thanks for hopping in. I'm assuming you're hopping in from Hawaii with the aloha. I appreciate you being here. So, all right. And then we're going to take the little hiking pole and we are going to make it look like it is in the hiker's hand. So there we go. And again, it was adhesive sheets that I used. Oh man, Yeah, you can always watch the replay, but yeah, I agree. Darn work. Nobody wants to be doing that, especially on a Friday. So let me put the cap back on that before I end up poking myself with it. So got the little hiking pole, and definitely it's stuck down really easily and quickly with the adhesive sheets. So how those work, if you haven't seen them, they come in 6x12 sheets, and they're sticky on both sides. So you're going to actually cut off as much as you need, which these, if it's just a little piece, so basically it's about, they come in about 2-inch sections. They're divided into 2-inch sections, I should say. So I cut off about 1 inch of it, and then peeled one of the little 2-inch sections off, stuck it to the back of the basic black cardstock, did my die cutting, and then peeled the sticker off of it, or peeled the backing off of it so that it turns it into a sticker. So they're super easy to use, and it's an awesome, awesome little tool to have in your arsenal. I forget about them a lot of times when I'm doing my intricate die cutting, but like I said, when I went to cut that pole, I'm like, I better remember today. So, all right. Oh, thanks, Bonnie. I appreciate that. So, all right. What's next? So we have got, up next is, this comes in a 3-pack. It is called the 3 twine combo pack, and mine has a little chop in the back. I don't know, I must have done something. So, and this is also in that same suite, in the Enjoy the Journey. I'm like, why can't I remember? It's not Enjoy the Day, Enjoy the Journey suite. This is in there. You can buy it separately, obviously, but it's all part of the suite. If you want to just do the one number and get everything, it's part of that. But it's a 3-pack of twine, and it matches the Designer Series paper perfectly, which is awesome. Always love it when that happens. And we're going to grab some glue dots, because, of course, I left those over here. So thankfully, not too much is out of my reach on my messy stamping table. All right, so I've got a couple of glue dots here, and I'm just going to take those, and we are going to stick them here on the card front. I'm going to take a second little glue dot and stick it over on this side. And then I'm going to use them to kind of wind the twine around and stick them to the little glue dots here. There we go. Behave. Yep. Okay. I think I'm going to move this glue dot out just a hair. I think I put them a little too close together. And then I think we will wind this, and then wind it here again. Whoop. And then one more kind of loop and stick it on here. And then I'm going to cut it off. So, oh, you've got a granddaughter that runs? Yes. When I was younger, and 2 babies ago, I was a runner at one point in my life too. So I loved this collection of things. I thought it was really cool. So, because we don't very often get runner things as stampers, they're kind of hard to find. So, all right, so we've got our twine on here. Then I'm going to grab a piece of Melon Mambo cardstock, and we're going to stamp the sentiment on there. And I've got, again, it's a photopolymer stamp set, and I've got Versamark ink, and we're going to do a little heat embossing. So, inking up the sentiment, hopefully getting a good solid image on it, and if not, we'll just flip it over and do it a second time. All right. And then I'm going to grab my Basics embossing powder, the white from the Basics embossing powder, and we're going to sprinkle that right over the top of the sentiment. And we'll do some heat embossing. So it is going to be kind of loud. I apologize. That's the heat tool though, but it's such a cool thing. Heat embossing is one of my favorite techniques, and I can call it a technique because it kind of is one, even though it's a pretty basic one. All right, so the Stampin' Up! Heat tool has 2 settings on it. There's a level 1 setting for heat embossing, for heat embossing. So I've said that twice in the last 2 videos. It's for drying, so if you're doing something like watercoloring and want your image to dry a little faster, then you can use the level 1 setting to do that. And then there's a level 2 setting. I know, heat embossing is like the coolest thing when you turn and you're just like, oh. So level 2 setting is for heat embossing, so it does get a little bit hotter, but it does take a second for the heat tool to heat up hot enough to emboss. So that is why I'm chattering away here, trying to let the heat tool heat up a little bit before I turn it towards the project and start embossing. So welcome from Decatur, Georgia. Glad that you're here. All right, we'll see if it's ready to get started here. Oh, there we go. It's starting to turn. Hopefully you can see it. It starts to turn kind of a bright white and get a little shiny. And then you know that it's done. You can overcook your heat embossing, your embossed images, I should say. So be careful not to heat it too long. when you do that, it turns brown and icky and burns. So it's not quite as pretty when you do that. Then I'm going to grab the, this is what I call, these are the wide rectangle dies according to me. There's no official name for them. So these are the wide rectangle dies. These are the narrow ones. I'm going to grab the smallest of the wide rectangle dies, and I'm going to use that to die cut the sentiment. So I'm going to be off screen for just 1 second. I will run this through my die cutting machine, and I will be right back. All right, hopefully. All right, there we go. Let me get this mess out of the way. And then I'm going to come back to my card front, and I'm going to grab a couple Stampin' Dimensionals, hopefully not the used ones that I have sticking on everything. So I'm going to grab a couple Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm just going to put them actually on the card front before I put the sentiment on, because I know basically I want to avoid my twine on here and the glue dot mess I've got going on here in the background. But I know that generally this is going to land here right in the middle of the twine, so I know I can put the dimensionals right on the card front, and they'll be covered with the sentiment once I put everything together here, and nobody will know that it's icky and messy underneath there. Well, you and I will know, but we'll be the only ones. All right, there we go, sticking that together. And then the last thing that I added to the card front is some of the opaque adhesive back gems. They come in white, I think that's Fresh Freesia, Melon Mambo, and then Gorgeous Grape are the colors in it. But I just used a couple of the little white ones because it coordinated with the paper. I'm going to take one, and we'll just sort of tuck it up here, sort of halfway under the sentiment, maybe not quite under it. And then the smaller one, and we'll adhere it to the actual sentiment. There we go. And that's it for the card front. So super easy, and just a little die cutting, a little heat embossing, and a little bit of glue in, and it's all done. So then I'm going to grab the basic white panel for the inside of the card, and I've got pumpkin pie ink, and I've got the little tree image from the Greatest Journey stamp set, and we are just going to ink that. There we go. And then we'll stamp the trees once, and then ink it again. And I'll kind of stamp the tree off to the side here on the other side of the panel. And then we'll put that inside the card, and that's going to be it for today. So again, I apologize about the craziness of the screen. I'm hoping that there's a quick fix for it and that I'll have it figured out by the time I go live next week, Tuesday. Because goodness, it's annoying for me too, so I'm sure it's annoying for you guys watching it as well. So hopefully YouTube will fix it, or I'll figure it out, one or the other. So all right, gonna fold that closed, and then grab a little bone folder here to do the quick crease. And that's it. So again, it's actually cut from the same piece of Designer Series paper. Oops, sorry, I'm way off center. I'm trying to get them both on the screen here. Hopefully I get them close. So they're cut from the same piece of Designer Series paper. Just this is half of it. This is the other half of it. So you can kind of change up what it is that, which paper you're using, what background colors you're using, and all that sort of thing. Probably could have gotten away with using the Coastal Cabana card base on it, but I don't know. I wanted it to coordinate a little bit more with the sky, so I went with pumpkin pie for the one I showed you guys. So, all right, that is all that I have for today. I'm glad that you liked them, because again, these are not colors that I would have necessarily put together either, Lori. I will say I'm not a person that loves orange in particular, and I actually really like this paper, and I like the way the card turned out. So I'm getting over my orange I don't like thing. So, all right. So thanks for joining me today. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for putting up with the technical difficulties. I will try to get the video format switched for the next time around. I'm going to plan to be live around 2 o'clock Eastern time. Or no, I'm sorry, not 2 o'clock. It'll be about 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern time on Tuesday. I apologize. My daughter has a dentist appointment in the afternoon, so I got to go, do that. So I'll be a little early next week, Tuesday, but I'll plan to be back live around 2 o'clock Eastern time on Friday here on YouTube Live. And again, hopefully we'll get the screen fixed for next time. So thanks so much for joining. I appreciate you all being here. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and we'll chat with you all soon. Hopefully I can get the screen to stop.